Ephraim is an interesting town when you are going to bury a loved one, because there is no mortuary. We do have Carl the taxidermist. He's always like, look, I ain't licensed, but I'll help you out for cheap. Do you want Grandpa to smile or to squint at the horizon like Barack Obama? I don't know, let's go with the squint, that's fine. Okay, the squint. Oh, and don't forget to call me before April 15th next year to get them taxes filed. Hashtag Ephraim taxidermy. So a shameless plug there. Now, Ephraim is a religious town. It's a small Mormon village, and I'm a part of that religion. And so on occasion, I'll be in a church meeting, and someone will stand and say, brothers and sisters, we are under attack for the things we hold sacred. And I feel it's my civic duty to raise my hand and say, I'm sorry, Sister Jones. No, we're not. We're simply mocked. And that is fantastic. Because in the United States, we roast out of love. Comes from a good place. You guys know the kind of person I'm talking about, right? Y'all's Mormons? That means you ain't never tied one on. So you've got no idea what it's like to take on the privilege of drinking all night and waking up on a park bench with no idea where your pants are. I bet you got more than one wife as well. That's funny. I won't even commit to one chick, but y'all are living the musical, 7 brides for every brother. Now that guy's not attacking me. That's love. I know because sometimes I do the same thing with other religions. For example, the Nation of Islam. I love them. But they have this line of doctrine that says, none of you is a true believer unless you wish for your neighbor what you wish for yourself. Well, that's great. And it kind of explains the suicide bombing. But it does not explain why I use a Russian accent to tell the story. I don't know why I do that. I mean, maybe I picked it up from that old cult classic movie, Habib Does Moscow. And I could change the accent and try something different. You know, I'm a true believer too, man. Have you seen my neighbor Paco's daughter? He's so sad. I just hope she does not get pregnant, at least until after the quinceañera. But if she does, it's not all bad. It's okay. Because then her new baby would get a sibling. Welcome inside my head. Here's another one. Fellow Christians. I love them. But some of them believe that baptism doesn't matter for salvation. They believe it's irrelevant, which is fine. I'm pretty libertarian in my heart. Believe whatever you want, as long as your book says love God and love your neighbor. Go nuts. But if you believe baptism is irrelevant, but you still call yourself a Baptist, that's kind of like owning a vegan restaurant and going all week without selling any animal products whatsoever. But on the weekends, steak and egg special. Yes, I'd like my steak prepared rare, please. Oh no, medium is as far as we go. We are vegan restaurants after all. All right, medium then. Let's see, I'll have scrambled eggs on the side, and the lady and I will have 2 glasses of your finest chocolate milk. And is the steak baptized in sauce? No. However, if you close your eyes and click your heels together 3 times, you'll find that baptism doesn't really matter. Here's another one. The General Church of Rome. I love them. And I know it's a sacred experience for like 1 billion people on our planet when they elect a new pope. To the rest of us, it looks like you're blowing smoke out your chimney. And the reporting on site gets a little old, you know. Oh, we've been here for 25 days and there's still, oh, the white smoke has come. Now the world is totally popeful. Which is fine. I just wish one time purple smoke came out of the chimney. You know what that means, right? All you historians will remember. If purple smoke comes out of the papal conclave, it means there's been a cardinal sin. And the new pope would be Jimi Hendrix, who wrote Purple Haze. Now, I understand. I mean, he's a black, left-handed guitar player, and that would never work. He could never be the pope. There's just too much bigotry in the world against lefty guitar players. So his most natural alternate would have to be Keith Richards, guitar player for the Rolling Stones. If Keith was elected the new pope, that would probably be the best press conference in the history of planet Earth. He'd come out on stage and go, right, stand by for some policy changes, yeah? My name's Keith. I used to play with Mick, and I am the new papal conclave. I'm sorry, what? It's on sideways. Is that better? You know what? I don't like the hat. I think it makes me look like a big phallus head. Yeah. Give it to one of the groupies. No, I'm not going to wear the cross either, because it's an instrument of death and torture. Look, I don't have a Derringer pistol in my pocket to remember Abraham Lincoln, and I don't have an at-home guillotine to recall good times with Louis and Marie. We'll talk about this later. All right, my people, I just want everyone to know that I intend to keep my campaign promise of building out extra space on every chapel in the world for a hookah lounge. Just know it's going to happen, and it's going to be smoking. Next thing, who gets my refills? Is that you? All right, cheers, mate. Oh, and can you get some of the little Cubans, you know, for the after party? All right, rock and Rome. Next thing, popes like to talk about economics, so I'll opine as well. There's a gap growing between rich and poor, which is impossible to stop. And it's very simple. It's all elementary, really. Math says that the rich will keep getting richer. And biology says that the poor will keep getting busy. So to try to help the poor ones, we're going to take our policy on contraception, pull it off, wrap it in toilet tissue, and flush it down the loo. Now that's what you call repentance. Because for years, we've been saying, do not use contraception. Do not use contraception. Do not use... Look at all the poverty in predominantly Catholic communities. This is madness. You would have to be a delusional wanker to blame that on capitalism. Now, if you are a delusional wanker, don't feel bad. It's very simple. Just go home, get your Google machine out, delete your browsing history, and then search any news article in the world containing the word Venezuela. Except maybe the sporting articles, because this year the football team's not too bad. And to make it simple for you wankers out there, capitalism it's very simple. It's just free trade. It's person A trading with person B, and both parties profit. It's like consensual intercourse. Socialism's more like rape. Except it's worse than that. It's person A and person B deciding to double team person C, and then they send the guys with the guns to person D, E, and F's house to make them pay for it. Now, I understand every government needs to do that a little bit, but if you do it too much, you're just going to get a totalitarian state with mounds and mounds of starving and dead people. Now, I can hear what some of you are thinking. Well, at least in Venezuela, they get free health care. Yes, which is nice. There's no medicine or bandages. And lots of the year, there's no toilet paper or tampons either. But you're right, the doctors are all lovely people, and they're really happy to treat you once they get back from the breadline. The point is, we as a church are a little slow on the uptick. I mean, it took us until 1992 to concede that the earth revolves around the sun. Yeah, Galileo was right. It took us a while, but we're on with it. So if you think about it, until 92, Earth's orbit was in limbo. Or purgatory. Whichever one is still the doctrine. And we might even change that moving forward. The last thing I want to say, these priests doing the nasty with the little boys. I am sorry, we're going to crucify them. Look in your history books, that's how Rome does it. And if you think about it, if crucifixion was good enough for the Apostle Peter, and Jesus, and Spartacus, 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 and Spartacus. If crucifixion was good enough for those lot, then it's good enough for a pedophile priest. So we're going to nail them buggers up to a tree, and that will be the end of it. Now, some of you may feel bad. I understand. If you do, just go home and do like 3 Our Fathers and 9 Bloody Marys. And all will be forgotten. Those are my notes. Rome wins. Now, which one of you lot helps me find my pants? Is that you too? All right, cheers, mate. Keith Richards as the Pope, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I told that bit to a friend of mine once, and he said, yeah, they're funny, but you've obviously held back in roasting other religions. I'm like, hey, that's true. Well, come on, I didn't want to be the reason that some Buddhist sets himself on fire. Did you hear what he said? That'd be horrible. I didn't want to be the reason for the increase in Amish-related DUI citations. I didn't want that. No. Ishmael, the hell is this? I told you. I don't care what he said. I told you to stop dipping in the cider. Yeah, whenever you get inebriated, you always do the fishtailing in the wagon. Stop that crap. Didn't want that. And honestly, whenever I talk about the most dangerous religion out there, I get afraid. I don't want to incur any terrorism into the lives of my friends and family, so yeah, I pull punches big time when I talk about the church of political correctness. And I understand, that is a two-sided coin. On the one hand, I've never seen a religion that wants to use governmental violence to implement every aspect of their ideology. Very scary. And on the other hand, I'm kind of with them. I wish that the facts cared more about their feelings. But they don't. So I fear. And I finished talking and my friend says, all right, but how about a Jewish joke? That could work. But I still have a mortgage balance. I don't want to offend the wrong people. And while we're on the subject of offense, everyone take a deep breath. We're just having fun here. It's a comedy show. And I need everyone to understand that I in no way mean any offense at all to Keith Richards of the Rolling Stones.